Hello, YouTubers. This is Russ Strock. In this video, I thought I would introduce you to my solar panels and the solar array that I have on top of my suburban house here. I call this channel SSS for being mostly sustainable, suburban, and hopefully simplify the process to get through some of these, what can be rather difficult topics. On the sustainable side, about 4 years ago in 2020, I began the process of digging in more deeply into adding solar panels to my property. And I thought I would walk you through some of the steps in that process to hopefully demystify it and make it more implementable for those of you who have been sort of toying with the idea but haven't actually taken the plunge. So I've already done a couple of videos on an overview on beekeeping and some of the winemaking that I plan to also unfold here in terms of more videos, some of the beekeeping. But today I wanted to talk about the solar panel process and the array, and I might make a few more videos on this topic. But to get started, I thought I would just sort of share with you what I thought were some of the breakthrough moments on the solar panel installation process, getting it moving from concept to implementation. My fiance always says, start anywhere. And that's such good advice. I love the mantra because whether it's beekeeping, where I started with a beginner box from Costco, or solar panels, you have to start somewhere. So what I did that was useful, and again, I'm trying to share what I think are breakthrough moments, was I contacted a company in California. I'm based in Southeast Michigan. But I contacted a company in California called Wholesale Solar. Now I think they've changed their name since I used them, but they're based in Shasta, California. And I found a technician there over the phone who was really very, very helpful. I described my needs, my location, and he began to work with me in a very genuine way. And so eventually, I ended up ordering all of my equipment through Wholesale Solar, and this is the invoice from Wholesale Solar, and it cost me about $17,000 for 28 solar panels that produce about 12 megawatts per year. Most of that production is during the sunny months, which actually start here around February all the way until October, and then there's very little production in November, December, January. But Wholesale Solar did a great job of helping me figure out the wattage per panel, the number of panels, the circuitry, line diagrams, all sorts of things. The next step, and I think most electric companies work this way, is you'll have to open up a portal with your electricity provider and begin the process of initiating an interconnection process with the power grid, with the power company. And that is if you plan to have a tie-in system, something that you feed surplus power back to the grid, rather than a standalone system. Most people in suburban areas will use a grid-tied system. One of the things, again, I tried in the solar panel array system to do as much of it as I possibly could myself, to save money, to be as sustainable as possible, in my suburban setting. As I've said in prior videos, I'm a retired biologist now, been retired about a year, but I did all of this while I was working, raising kids, and I just chipped away at it. This was one of the first steps here, was to develop a site plan, a site drawing, And you can see the solar arrays over my main house, plus 6 of them I have over the garage. I put together this line drawing just using basic software on the computer, free software. Wholesale Solar, they put together the line diagram required to apply for electrical permits, construction permits from the county, and other structural information was provided by Wholesale Solar. One of the important decisions you'll have to make with solar panels is whether to get microinverters or one main inverter to convert the DC current that the solar panels produce into AC current that most of our household appliances use in the outlets and so on. I used Enphase IQ Envoy microinverters. So I have 28 inverters up there on the roof, one inverter for each of the solar panels. I have approximately 9 solar panels on each circuit. I have 3 circuits that feed into a control box here in the basement. I also put forward the applications to the county for both a building permit, which is required if they're on your house, and an electrical permit application here was also required. So I did all of that work myself. I initiated these. I went online and you can fill out the forms. It's not that difficult. Paid the fees. It was about $50 per application. As you go through each of these steps, again, I think most power companies work this way, electrical companies. You'll have to open up a portal on their website for an interconnection or parallel operating agreement. And that's what this is with, in my case, Detroit Edison Power Company for Southeast Michigan. There's a multi-step process in here that moves along, in my opinion, rather slowly. But once you satisfy their requirements for a site drawing, provide them quite a lot of information about your solar panel array, the angle of your roof, the amount of sun, the power generation, demonstrate your historic electric use relative to what you're planning to produce with your new solar array. You know, you'll eventually work your way through their parallel operating agreement interconnection system, online system. You'll have to pay your power company a fee to have them process your interconnection application, and there's a $50 fee charged by Detroit Edison Power Company. After about 8 months of developing the foundation, the paperwork, the invoice, getting the order delivered here from California for my solar panels, I was able to find a local company that would install the panels. That's something I actually wanted to do myself, but was uneasy drilling holes into my roof and putting a racking system up there, climbing up on the roof. So I hired a company. The company I hired was called Sumter Solar out of Belleville, Michigan, and they came out here and installed the solar panels that I had purchased and worked with all the equipment that I had delivered from Wholesale Solar in California. The cost of installation for those 28 panels was $5,991. The cost for all the solar panels and the equipment that went along with it, including the inverters, was approximately $17,000, and with $16,695. So almost $1,700 plus the $6,000 here is $23,000 gross is what it cost me to have the solar panels installed, electrical permit cost, processing fees, of course my time. And then when I did this in 2020, I got about a 28% credit back on my federal taxes. So rounding up, you can take about $6,000 off of the bill So it cost me around $15,000 to do this project, with most of it done myself. The only part I could not do was the actual installation on the roof. Most power companies will not allow you to put more solar panels on your roof than you need beyond a certain percentage, 10 or 20% of what you use each year. So I have a geothermal heating and cooling system here. Again, I try to be as sustainable as possible. I ran that fully for the month of February to try to create a new baseline from which I could generate and extrapolate an electrical use throughout the year. And I did that in this table. I have actual data, but I also have extrapolated data, and I could provide this in attachment too. But back in 2020, when I did this on April 2nd, I estimated that my monthly kilowatt use with the geothermal system would be 12,711 kilowatts, I should say per year, megawatts per year, 12,000 megawatts per year. The actual generation from my solar panels now averages 11 to 12,000 megawatts per year. So my estimated amount back in 2020 that I use per year matches pretty closely to what those solar panels are actually producing. So just a rather quick video at this point on the solar panel array, and at this point I won't get into the payback and how it's actually all translating into banked credits and how it's reducing my electrical bill, but I may do that here in another upcoming video, so stay tuned. If you have any questions or comments, as always, I appreciate those. Please submit them down below, and I'll do my best to get back. Thank you.